Hey everybody, it's Alicia, and I've had a couple of you request some information about my blackout bag. I'm sorry, my blackout bin. It's not a bag, it's a box. So I thought I would come on here and show you what I've got in here, what necessitated this, and where I hope to go forward with this. So we've been needing to do this for a while. We do have instances where we have bad storms come through. We are where there are tornadoes. Sometimes accidents happen with our power lines out here and we'll go without power for a while. If we have a freak snowstorm come through and the lines freeze, then we don't have power for a while. So I've been needing to do this for a while, but I haven't. So I have just finished up this, what I'm calling my blackout box, blackout bin, whatever you'd like to call it. Recently we had the derecho come through Iowa, and there were people who were without power for 5 days, 7 days, 10 days, lots of time without power. And I do have things here on the farm should we have a power outage, but if we were to lose power in the middle of the night, and I don't know where all my stuff is off the top of my head, but it's nice to have this bin that I will know exactly where it is. It will have everything that I need, in addition to what I'm going to have bedside, like an emergency headlamp and such. So I wanted to just show you how I put this together. It's relatively inexpensive, and if you wanted to put one together for yourself, I highly recommend it. So I got a really nice sturdy bin here with a really nice sturdy lid. It has a nice sturdy lid, and I like that if you happen to be in a situation where you need to use this as a surface, it has a nice ability for a tabletop. I also like that you can turn it upside down, and let's say that you're somewhere and you wanted to use it as a tabletop, maybe to play cards or something, or just to use it if you're going to have lunch. You can use it for that as well. So I do like that these little pop-ups here, they actually fit right into the lid to keep it secure. Okay, so what do I have in my bin? Let me take this out. This is another bag I was working on. I have everything labeled for ease of access, and so that you're not digging through everything wondering where everything is at. Everything is visible. As soon as you open the bin, you know what you have. So in this bag here, and I don't know if you can read it with the glare, I'm going to try to hold up here. I have 2 Mylar blankets, some sturdy work gloves, a 40-foot rope, and elastic bands. You never know what you're going to need elastic bands for. To hold something up, to hold something together. In this bag here, I have 2 DC chargers for our CPAP. That was one thing that really worried me. Jim and I are both on CPAPs, and if we were to go without power for an extended period of time, we would need those CPAPs for when we sleep. This one will plug into the cigarette lighter of a car. Aha, the zipper opens, look at that. These will plug into the cigarette lighter of a car, and then they plug right into your CPAP machine. So if you have someone who's dependent upon a CPAP machine, you do have access for batteries for this. The only negative for this system is that you'd have to actually take your CPAP out to the car or to another DC power source. I do have another backup battery coming for both of us so that we wouldn't have to do that, but in a pinch, this would at least keep us safe at nighttime. My oxygen levels drop down into the 50s when I sleep, so I have to have that CPAP. Okay, let's jump to this one back here. This one back here, I've just got some what I call Jesus candles. These are the religious candles, and some lighters. Everything is labeled. So when I look down into the bag, if I need to grab candles and lighters, I've got them right there. We also have a supply of oil lamps and some extra oil. So if we have an extended time where we don't have power, we can just keep the house lit with some oil lamps, kind of go old-fashioned. In this bag here, I've just got some things to kind of pass the time, just in case we're without power for a few days. I've picked up this really neat book about Abraham Lincoln at the dollar store. I thought Jim would really like that. He's not much of a reader, but it would be something for him to do. I've got some word search books, some Sudoku books, some puzzles, a couple decks of cards, pens, and a notepad. You might find that you might need to take notes about something, so I've got my notepad. Will I ever need it? I don't know, but I've got it ready to go just in case. Now to some of the nitty-gritty. This is going to be added to. This is a little bin that I got at the dollar store. I've got extra USB in here for our phones. And you may be wondering, okay, that's nice, you can plug it into your phone, but then what are you going to plug the USB into? I'm going to get to that. I'm also going to get some extra batteries. I do have some extra batteries down here in one of these boxes, and I'll show you that in a minute, but I want to have extra batteries in here, and I want to get a small utility knife to put in here. I'm also going to put a little P38 can opener in here just in case. Jim bought us a 10-pack the other day, and I think it's good to kind of have them throughout the house in case you need them. So I'm going to be filling this up. And speaking of batteries, and I labeled everything with my label maker. This is a USB battery charger, and it has 4 AAA batteries and 4 AA batteries in here. And what's really nice is if we find that we have something that runs off batteries and we can't charge them traditionally, I do have this charger in here. It will work off of a USB, and I'll be able to recharge batteries. What would I use the batteries for? I've got lanterns in here. What hasn't arrived yet is we do have some little personal fans. The fans hang around your neck. They run off of little AA batteries. If we were to lose power for an extended period of time in the summertime, it would just be really nice to just be able to cool yourself off with a little fan that hangs around your neck. And they might run out of batteries, but we've got rechargeable batteries here. So I just kind of like having this tucked in here. I also have these emergency lanterns. You may have seen these lanterns on TV. The batteries are in here. I did not put the batteries in the actual lantern because I don't want them to go bad and explode or anything in case I'm not in here for any extended period of time. But these are the neatest little lanterns. Let me set this down here. And I keep them racked up to keep them protected, but easy enough to put the batteries in. But these are the lanterns that open up. You can adjust the light by opening and closing. Okay, and they will house the batteries that are in there. But if those batteries die, I've got the ability to charge more batteries and keep these in here. So these will be real handy in a blackout situation. And I know all I have to do is put my headlamp on, come to this box, get things out, and we'll be ready in case there is. And again, it's labeled, so if anybody gets in here, if there's an emergency, they know exactly what everything is. And then here we have our emergency radio. So it has a solar panel to charge, it has a crank to charge, it has a reading lamp, it has a flashlight, it has an SOS alarm, and it has the USB jack. So we can charge any of these things that I've shown you on this little weather radio. And here's a picture of what it looks like. I'm not going to take it all the way out. This was relatively inexpensive. I don't recall how much Jim paid for it. I am going to take it out. I lied. Well, maybe I'm going to take it out. We'll see. Jim had it out the other day. It's really little. Look at that. It has a USB port with it. You can charge your phone on it. If your phone's going to go dead in an emergency, you're able to charge your phone. You're able to listen to the radio weather, get emergency reports. It has the strobe light. It has everything you need in an emergency. We've had emergency radios in the past. Don't ask me where they are. I don't know. But I'm going to know where this one is. This one is always going to be in my blackout bag. Okay? Again, labeled, ready to go. Everything is labeled. Again, so this one is my bag. It's got reading glasses, water, a Mylar blanket, a rain poncho, headlamp, wipes, glow stick with emergency whistle, lip balm, cooling cloth, Tylenol, and a first aid kit. And some of you may say, why do you need all of that in there if it's just your blackout bag? If we've been hit by a storm, who knows what the situation is going to be like. I mean, that's just it. It's an unknown, right? You have no idea. So one of the things somebody had asked me was, why do you only have one bottle of water in your emergency kit? This is not my emergency kit. This is my blackout kit. This is if we lose power only. That's what all of this is for. It's only if we lose power. So if we lose power, We're not going to have air conditioning. We're not going to have fans. Sometimes the humidity and the heat here is unbearable in the summer. Would we bug out and go to a Red Cross station? Probably not. We'd probably stay here on the farm. So having said that, we got these really nice cooling cloths. These are the ones that you get wet, wring them out, wrap them around your neck, wipe your face off. They'll keep you cool. But they're not going to work if I can't get them wet. Now, some of you may say, well, you just turn the water on and you get them wet. We live out here on the farm. Our farm has a well. The well runs off of the well pump. If there's no electricity, there's no water. So I put in a bottle of water in here so I can get my cloth wet. If it's a really hot day, I've got the cloth, and then I'll also have the little personal fans that are coming to keep us cool. We don't want to get overheated, and that would just really zap all of our energy. Since we won't be having running water, I also just put in a little pack of antibacterial wipes. Just kind of keep our hands clean and what have you, wipe our face off, whatever. My sister recently went through that duration. She was out without power for 5 days, so I think some of these things she would have really found handy. Emergency poncho. Yeah, this is technically probably one that should be in one of my other kits. However, if we've lost power and we need to run out and get something, if we're caught in the middle of a storm, just kind of nice to have an emergency poncho. Will I remember to put it on? I don't know, but I've got it just in case. Teeny tiny little first aid kit. I got this at the dollar store. Again, maybe not the correct bin to have this in since it's a blackout bin, but it doesn't take up much space, so why not? It's just got a couple of little handy things there. Mylar blanket. If we happen to lose power, let's say there's a bad storm, and who knows what we're going to face out here at the farm. I might not have access to blankets. If we're hit by a tornado and we're only stuck in a certain portion of the house, I might not have access to warmth. We might not have access to our stove. And if we have to bug out and make a run for it out to the car or something, it would just be nice to have a blanket to wrap up in to keep us warm in case we got wet and chilled. So again, they don't take up much space. I think it's a good thing to have. There are a lot of things you can use this for. Not only as an emergency blanket, you could use this as an SOS distress signal. You could also use it to set up a solar oven. You could also use this to capture water, rainwater if you needed to. Good handy little thing to have in any kit. Again, from the dollar store, just some extra strength Tylenol, actually Excedrin. Good if you happen to have a little headache or something. Maybe you can't make it to your first aid kit, the regular one that would have some Tylenol in it, or to a first aid drawer. Just something nice to have that's handy. You know, just another creature comfort is some lip balm. Doesn't hurt to have that in there. As Jim and I are getting older, it's getting harder to read. So we have some reading glasses in each one of our kits. If the instructions, maybe the instructions for putting that radio together when we need to utilize it or something else, who knows, we might not have our regular glasses. I mean, look, those things, look, they're really making that lettering on there on that bag really pop good, doesn't it? Be a good thing to have. Reading glasses. I've got the bag there with the puzzles and the books and everything, and if we're down for a certain amount of time and don't have any form of entertainment, Jim wants to read. It's good to have some reading glasses. Another thing I have here is this little magnifying glass. It's the size of a credit card. I bought this at my sister's garage sale the other day. She had some of these. And it's just a little magnifying glass, and of course I didn't check it. It does have a light. Tiny little light so you can read if you need to with it. Here's a key one. Now, I haven't pulled the emergency tab on this, so the batteries are still good on it, but this is just a cheap headlamp that you can wear on your head. It'll give you a light so you can walk around and see what you're doing. This one was only $1 at Walmart. So Jim and I both have one in this kit. We have really good ones. Let me see, it's in this other bag here. Jim got us some really nice headlamps. But these are the ones that are going to go on the bedside. I'm going to have a bag next to our bed for each of us. And in that bag is going to be a really good headlamp, an emergency strobe, an emergency whistle, and a pair of shoes. This will be if there's a tornado that comes in the middle of the night or a severe storm in the middle of the night. We can just grab this small bag that I'm putting together for us and run to the basement. If we're hit by a tornado, we've got sturdy shoes, we've got an emergency light, we've got a good headlamp. We can do what we need to do down in the basement for safety. So, but again, this one was only $1 at Walmart. So, and this one here, this is one of the great things I found. Even if you don't put a whole bag together, I think this is a great thing to have on hand for your bedside kit or an emergency kit. This is a flashlight and a glow stick. And so there's the flashlight part. There's the glow stick and its strobes. And also, it has an emergency whistle here on the bottom. And I haven't taken all of the plastic off, so I probably can't get the emergency whistle off to show you the emergency whistle. But it has an emergency whistle. And what I like about this is if we are down in the basement, if a tornado comes and it happens to hit the house and we're trapped down there, we have an emergency whistle to blow. We've got a flashlight to see by. And let's say one of us are injured or something and we feel maybe we're going to lose consciousness or something, we can turn that emergency strobe light on. So when people show up, at least they can see us, possibly find us. I think this is a great thing to have. I bought 3, 4, 5 of these. I don't know how many. These were under $3 at Walmart in the camping section. I think these are good to have in your car. They're good to have next to the bedside. Anything for your emergency bug out bags. These are a great thing to have. So that's what I've got in these little personal bags for Jim and I. And what I like about these bags is they will just stack up one right up against each other. And they fit in my box here. I can open things up. I can see things right away. I had this one labeled so that when I fold the bag, I can see what it is when I put it in. And that's it. I do have room for a couple more things if I find some more lanterns on sale at a yard sale, or if I find something else that I think that will go good for our blackout kit. I've got the availability for just a little bit more room in here. I'm going to label the side of this lid and the front of this lid, so regardless of where I store it, I can see what I've got in here. And this I'm actually going to put over by the front door, and it will have a permanent home there. And that way, if we're sitting here at 10 o'clock at night and we're watching TV and we have a blackout, we know exactly where to go. I'm also going to take 2 of those little strobe lights that have the flashlight on them. I'm going to hang them from the largest piece of furniture we have in here. That way, if we need to, we can just jump up, grab one of those flashing lights, and use the flashlight and the strobe light if we need to, at least to get to our blackout bag so we can see what we need to do. What's really nice about these is I thought it came with a little extra battery. It doesn't, but still, it's enough to get you through in a bad situation. So, all right, guys, I hope you like the little blackout box idea. I hope this inspires you to make one and be safe. If you're in earthquake country, it's a great thing to have. If you're in storm country, or if you're in an area where you experience brownouts or blackouts, I just think it's a smart thing to have anyways. A lot of this stuff I got at the Dollar Tree. The little things in the personal bags and in the entertainment bag and everything. A lot of it I got at Walmart for under $5 a piece. The little personal fans that are coming are $10 a piece. Jim's getting those on Amazon. We got the lanterns. I think the lanterns were $20 for that set of 2, and they came with the batteries, which is not bad. The radio, I think, was $29 or $39. I think it's a very important thing to have, especially since it has solar power and crank power. If you find that you don't have batteries, you can still have an emergency radio to know what is going on. So that's it. That's what I've got so far for this little kit. If you have any questions, or if you have any suggestions to add to it, if you've got one at home and you've got something in here that I've missed, I'd appreciate hearing it. All right, guys, we'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.